Alright, we are back for our first test match. I'm going to keep this hand. It's not great, but it's got a 1-drop and a 2-drop, and it's got Annihilator's Presence to give me all my colors. It's got a Lightning Bolt, so I don't think it should be too bad. Looks like we're up against the blue-red Snow Delver deck. I've actually been taking a liking to that. That's actually been my personal favorite deck choice as of late. I don't know if that's a great matchup. I don't really think it is, but we're going to see. So right now, as you can see, this is some of the typical type of hands that you will find with this deck, is running into the problem of a few of these 1/1s, and you'll just find yourself outclassed by a couple of cards. Now, if I had a turn 1 Nicodle, I could have a turn 2 Nicodle with a Rancor on it, and such, but unfortunately, it's not really the world we live in. I think I am just going to Rancor this up, though. And if I get dazed, I get dazed. I kind of need to get a mountain here. So I'm just going to go ahead and attack for 3 on parity. Opponent, I don't know what they flipped. They flipped a Preordain, but didn't play it? Oh, because they played Involving Walls, okay. But they decided to get double blue anyway. Interesting. And, just going to say go. Maybe they don't know that I'm playing red, so they might not play around Lightning Bolt. I mean, of course, this deck is as far under the radar as you can imagine, so it's not like I should really have to play around much. Brainstorm before the Preordain. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Yep. This is probably not going to be a very easy matchup. And this is one of the reasons why I'm not quite sure if this deck would be very good online, is because it doesn't... It's not great against a lot of the decks you would see right now, things like Delver, because they can just, of course, keep the tempo. It's not great against Tron. It falls into a lot of the same problems that that the regular Boggles deck falls into. And I'm going to get a mountain here. So that my opponent topped. That's a good draw, though. So I could just go Annihilator's Presence into Ethereal Armor and say screw it. Indeed. Instead of bolting the Insectile Aberration, and I think that's what I want to do. My opponent didn't seem to have daze. If I do that, I'll have plus another 3, so that will be 6. And I'll bring my opponent to 11, then I'll go to 8. And then my opponent will require some counter spells, is where right now I could kill the Insectile Aberration and Annihilator's Presence, but then Ethereal Armor might not resolve next turn. I think I'm better off racing here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this Forest, and I'm going to go Annihilator's Presence on this Forest. Looks like my opponent's F6ing. Another Rancor is really good. Go ahead and do that, and we'll get in for 6. Bring my opponent down to 11. And between the Lightning Bolt and the Rancor, I do actually have lethal. So my opponent reveals Scred. That's not actually doing anything, which is cool. I'm going to go to 8. I don't really have a fear of dying unless my opponent just randomly goes Mountain... Okay. Unless my opponent just goes Mountain Lightning Bolt, then I would be dead, but... They're tapping out for a Ninja? Okay. And a Wild Nicodle. Well, that doesn't really do anything. So let's go ahead and Rancor this bad boy. And if my opponent doesn't block, they're dead. I have to imagine they will block, though. They didn't block. Wow. Alright, that should be the game. And that was the game. So, the thing about that was my opponent tapping out for the Ninja. I'm not really sure they needed to, but I don't think they could have predicted that I would go Rancor into Lightning Bolt. So that was pretty cool. That was actually a surprising win. I haven't faced Blue-Red Delver. I have faced Mono-Blue Delver with this deck, and I've gone kind of 50-50 with it. The thing about the Mono-Blue Delver deck is Spire Golem's kind of annoying. They play more of a tempo game, you know. Their mana is a lot quicker, a lot better. But I guess it's not too bad. So we're gonna bring in the Electrickeries. The Electrickery is not bad against this deck. It's just kind of good to have. And we're going to bring in the Pyroblast. Oronar Lid is okay against this deck. The unfortunate part, like I said, is that because of how this deck plays, Scred and Lightning Bolt are actually good against this deck, unfortunately. But that is just something that you live with. I don't think Horse Skyfisher is going to be all that powerful. I think Wild Nacatl is actually pretty good. I don't think Armadillo Cloak is going to be as all that needed. I think Rancor and Ethereal Armor are really going to be the best options that I have. And since I brought in more red stuff, I can't really take out Abundant Growth and Nylea's Presence. Could take out a Heliod's Pilgrim, just for the fact that, sure, it gets something, but it's not great. I think I'm going to take one out on the draw, and I think that's good. Hydroblast, of course, doesn't do anything. Gorilla Shaman doesn't do anything. Ray Revelation doesn't do anything. Unless they have Aura Flux, then I'll have to worry about it. And then Reaping the Graves, I think, is a little slow against this deck. Reaping the Graves is really against a deck like Rossitron, you know, where they're going to play a bunch of spells in their turn, like, you know, 2 or 3 spells, and then you can Reaping the Graves at the end of turn. Against this type of deck where they're just 1-for-1ing you constantly, it's not great. I think this hand's okay on the draw. It's not the best, but I do have a Bolt for a turn 1 Delver if my opponent had it. They do not. So that is interesting. And they bottom topped. Okay. Wild Nacatl. Okay, Wild Nacatl's good. See if my opponent has a Daze. They do not. So, next turn I can go Mountain, attack for 2, play Silhana Ledgewalker, or I can go Mountain Lightning Bolt, or I could go Timberwolf Expanse, get a Plains, and go Ethereal Armor. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to get a Plains, just set it up for next turn, go ahead and attack for 2, and pass. Now, Wild Nacatl is particularly going to be good in this matchup because a 3-3 is going to be hard as hell for them to actually deal with if they don't have a Lightning Bolt or a Scred. Especially with Ethereal Armor on it. A Naked Brainstorm. Do they have an Evolving Wilds? No. That's interesting. Okay, well, there's a Delver. That's fair. So, Nylea's Presence. Okay, so let's think about this. So, assuming my opponent has a counterspell, that's all good and done with. If my opponent has a Spell Stutter Sprite, they can counter the Ethereal Armor. And if they have a Vapor Snag, well, that kind of sucks. However, Silhana Ledgewalker is pretty good. So let's go ahead and attack for 3. And then I'm going to play Silhana Ledgewalker. And if my opponent counters it, I will then Lightning Bolt the Delver, so that it actually dies instead of waiting for upkeep. Is it a Pride? No, it's an actual counterspell. Okay, we'll go ahead and Lightning Bolt. I almost Lightning Bolted my own Wild Nacatl by accident. That would have been great. Alright, there's a Ponder. One thing that this deck also does not have over the 5-color Zoo deck is that it doesn't have blue, so you don't have access to like Preordain and Ponder and things like that, but I think you get past that after a little while. Timberwolf Expanse. Okay, let's go ahead and thin the deck a little bit. I think we have enough. I think I want to get another red. I think I have enough of everything else. I'm going to go ahead and attack for 3, see what my opponent decides to do, and then I'm going to play Nylea's Presence. Maybe they'll tap out for a Ninja next turn, and I can get Ethereal Armor through. I think... No, I think I'll put on the Forest. Yeah, and leave the red up for Pyroblast, just in case I draw it. I can't imagine my opponent's going to counter that. Yeah, okay. Another Ethereal Armor. Jeez. Okay. So, we're pretty much set up. My opponent just keeps drawing, like, counterspell after counterspell. Then my Wild Nacatl is going to be able to go the distance, but with double Ethereal Armor, I will be able to, you know, actually, any threat that I draw will be really good. Pyroblast is good. Unfortunately, it doesn't stop a Scred. So we'll go ahead and Ethereal Armor. Maybe my opponent took out Scred. Spellstutter Sprite. Alright, I'm going to try to counter that. See how my opponent responds. My opponent brought in Hydroblast. That's cute. Okay. That's interesting. I did not think my opponent would bring that in. Alright, well, we have another Ethereal Armor. So let's go ahead and get in for 5. So yeah, like I said, there's a good chance that my opponent actually took out burn spells. Alright, looks like they're going to ninja me. That is fair. Yeah, by them using the red, that might indicate that they don't really have anything. Unfortunately, since they have Spellstar Sprite, pretty much almost anything I guaranteed will lose to Spellstar Sprite. So that is unfortunate. I am, however, going to bring them to 2. So that is good. I think bringing them to 2 is going to be better than just chumping the, not chumping, than blocking the ninja. I mean, sure, they do get to draw a free card, but that's just the world I live in. Actually, I should correct this at the end of turn. I mean, they're dead to any bolt. They're dead to like any. They're dead to any Pyroblast almost and whatnot. So they're dead to Rancor. That do a lot of things. Ooh, Gush, sweet. The cool looking Gush. I love how this Gush looks, man. It looks so beautiful. All right, this is the part where you kind of start to think that it's gonna get away from you, because it's a matter of at this point they're drawing so many cards they pretty much just have fuel for every single thing that they need. While I've drawn let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7 lands. Unfortunately, that's a lot of lands. Another Ethereal Armor. Well, that doesn't really do anything. So I think here I'm just going to say go. The reason for that is I don't want to let him draw any more cards if I don't have to. So if my opponent has another Ninja for the Seagate Oracle, happens, so be it. There's not much I can do about it. So it's just the world we live in. Another preordain. Alright. How many cards can you draw, bro? I mean, in all seriousness. You beat a bottom top again? Wow, that's the 3rd bottom top in a row. That is crazy. So I assume my opponent's going to attack with both? Oh, no, never mind. Alright. I assume my opponent's going to attack with both. Another Revolving Wilds. Alright. Well, I've drawn a lot of lands. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, about to be 12 lands out of my deck. How many lands did I play? I don't even know. So I played 20 lands, so 12 out of 20, there's only 8 lands left about to be in 40 cards. I don't know what that's a 1 in chance of, but what is that, a 1 in 5 chance, I think? If I have to think about it off the top of my head. Opponent's got 8 cards. Has not played any more lands, which is interesting. Could they really just... I guess they're just all on gas? Man, that is a pain in the tuchus. Alright, I guess we'll get a Plains in case I need a second white source. Could have got a Forest, but I don't really see the point. Alright, well there's Rancor. There's the win, but I think what we need to do is we need my opponent to tap down a little bit on my turn, and then draw, and then be able to go 3 spells in 1 turn. Unfortunately, Ethereal Armor doesn't really do anything, but maybe my opponent will counter it. Basic land cycling, okay. Gets another mountain? Well, Squad already killed it once, so it's interesting. Alright, so my opponent's going to Ninja in and have 2 blue up. Oh, no, no Ninja? No Ninja. Interesting. I think I know why, but... Or Norlid. Ooh. Or Norlid's interesting. Alright. Let's go ahead and Ethereal Armor this again and see what my opponent decides is the correct option. What do you do? They let it resolve. Damn you. Alright, let's go Or Norlid. Please go double Spellstar Sprite. Damn it. Alright. I guess Ranker. And there's the second spell source sprite. Yeah. So at this point, my opponent has like every counterspell under the sun. I really realistically can't win here. I mean, I can keep attacking every turn, but my opponent's never going to run out of creatures. So I think at this point the game is pretty much over. I'm going to just... Because if I attack, my opponent will just chump. And then I'll just keep taking 2, and my opponent will keep on drawing cards. I don't think there's a way that my opponent just doesn't have answers in their hand. But I guess... I don't know. Norton, if this was me not recording, I would easily scoop here, and I don't think many of you would blame me, to be honest. But I'll keep fighting the good fight. Oh well, my opponent did keep in bolts. They just never had one, I guess, until it was too late. Fair enough. Fair enough. They might leave in Scred now after this. I'm not sure. Yep, take 3. And you draw a card. Oh, nope, he's going to draw 4 cards. Okay, so now I will scoop, because once they play the second ninja, this game is over. Yeah, okay, this game is over. Alright, so, getting back to it, I don't think Helios Pilgrim is going to be as good as the 3rd Core Skyfisher. Armadillo Cloak is okay, but it's really only okay for the fact that it gives trample. But I think that is probably good enough. Wall in the Coddle, I think, is great on the play. I think Silhana Ledgewalker is going to be good. The Trickery is going to be good. Man, everything in... You know, the problem is everything here is already good. Like, even Slippery Boggle is still okay. Let me take out 1 Ethereal Armor for 1 Armadillo Cloak. Just keep the 5th in. And we'll just keep it like that. Unfortunately, you can't really keep this hand. Bit of bad luck here. Lot of bad luck. Lot of bad luck. Okay. Alright. Well. Gotta keep this, and it is a start. Has pretty much everything that I want. But my opponent gets to start off with the perfect, unfortunately. Which is... poopy for me. But, what are you gonna do? You gonna brainstorm? Oh, no. No Brainstorm and no Blind Flip. Okay. Falling Wilds, I'm guessing... Yeah. Oh, I thought it was going to be preordained. Huh. You know, that's funny. I don't know if you fetch there before you ponder. I guess if my opponent doesn't have another land, or if they desperately think... If they think they desperately need red, then yeah, I guess it kind of makes sense. Hopefully I draw natural planes off the top and I can just go Armadillo Cloak. Or something along those lines, right? See if my opponent shuffles away here. They chose not to shuffle. Didn't attack. They should have attacked. I mean, I'm not blocking, so... Abundant Growth is also very good. As that will let me go this. And get in for 3. And now... So they pondered, didn't shuffle, and didn't blind flip. I mean, it didn't flip. Not blind flip, of course, but... Which is interesting. So I guess we'll find out what my opponent does. Fairy Miscreant. Okay. Untap land 1 time! Damn it! Alright, let's go ahead and play Nellia's Presence. Does my opponent have a Daze now? They haven't had Daze the whole time. I know that they probably have Daze in their deck. Alright, get in for 4. Would you like to block, sir? My opponent would not. Okay. So now they know the 3rd card here. So, do they flip now? They know the 3rd card. They do not. So my opponent pondered and didn't keep 2 spells. I wonder what that leads to. Because you got me. Let's go ahead and just pass. And they just pass. Okay. Ooh. The snow-covered plains. Okay. I think I just attack for 4 here and say go. See what my opponent does at the end of turn. I don't necessarily have to cast my Aura Knurlet into an open counterspell. And I can just cast Lightning Bolt at the end of turn. Ooh, no flip. Sweet. Doing it. Doing it. Attack me for 2 and play Ninja? Attack me for 2. No Ninja. And no land. Alright, let's go ahead and bolt the Delver. I think bolting Delver will be better than bolting Fairy Miscreant. Yes, I understand that if he plays another one, he can draw a card, or Fairy, or it's 2 for Spellstar Sprite, but I don't think that really matters. Spellstar Sprite twice, and also leaves up red. Really? That's interesting. Drew another bolt, too. Alright. Well, had it the whole time. Alright, time to attack for 7, and if my opponent doesn't have a daze, I win the game. Lightning Bolt showing its worth in this deck. We won! Okay, sweet. So, we didn't really win with the Zoo side of things, except for Lightning Bolt. I mean, you could easily just, you know, take out some of these cards, make this the Boggle deck, but also have Lightning Bolt in it. So kind of got a little unlucky there in Game 3, but bounced back. Game 2 drew a lot of land, and the Blue-Red Delver deck did exactly what it's supposed to do. Shows why it's, I think, one of the best decks in the format right now. Game 1, my deck did exactly what it's supposed to do. And unfortunately, the Blue-Red Delver player just ran out of stuff and cast an Ninja of the Deep Hours, and that was it. But yeah, okay. So that was our first test match. I think I showed off pretty much what this deck kind of does. Just plays like hexproof, but also had Walls, Nicalis, and Lightning Bolts in it. And all right, well, we will see how it does in the next test match. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching.